Welcome to sunny Southern California that's
Yes.
freezing right now.
It is a little bit chilly.
Where were you born and raised?
Orange County, just north
Come
an
on.
hour. Oh, come on, I'm a Southern California girl.
Really?
Yes.
Then why did you choose this lifestyle? The dog and pony show, running around. Right now we're going to cut to this view of all these people here. And this is, it's a crazy business, isn't it?
It is, but I completely fell in love with it at a very young age, so I'm stuck.
So tell
I'm
me
stuck
how young of
completely.
an age?
Born into a musical family. My mom taught voice, so when I was 2 years old, I was listening to her give vocal lessons to other people, and I was jealous, and I wanted to get in on those too. So I was, I think, 4 years old when I convinced my mom that I had to sing. So she started to teach me, and then when I was 7, I started doing piano, and I've been hooked ever since.
What about songwriting? though?
Songwriting.
When did that start?
Well, I got signed to management when I was about 15 years old, and the scariest thing in the whole wide world was, you need to write a song. And it was like, what? I was like, I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, so it was basically like a homework assignment for me at first, and I remember I was so freaked out, and I was calling my manager. I was like, I don't know how to do this. I'm so worried, and what if it's ridiculous? And he's like, write about it. I was like, okay. So I started writing when I was 15, and I've been able to co-write with some huge writers. I've been able to co-write with Glenn Ballard and James Slater.
That's pretty heavy.
Glenn Ballard, I mean, the day that I worked with Glenn Ballard was like the most surreal. I love Glenn Ballard. I mean, Jagged Little Pill, that record is brilliant, and he is...
Don't tell me there's male influence on that record. Was there male influence?
Oh my God,
on
he
Jagged Little Pill?
come on,
Joking,
come
I'm
on,
joking,
come
I'm
on.
joking.
Kick it.
I'm joking.
I was gonna let you in on a secret.
I know. I could let you have a few little secrets about that girl too, but
I mean, so that's been great. I mean, I just released a new record last year in November, and half of it I co-wrote with a man named James Slater, who's a huge country writer. He wrote Through My Daughter's Eyes, and he was just up for a Grammy for Country Song of the Year. Like, he's just brilliant.
So when you were a kid growing up in Orange County, do you remember the first albums that you went, wow, that's a song?
Oh my goodness. Well, I think I was 7 years old when Titanic came out, so I like fell in love with Celine Dion. I was in love with Shania Twain, Mariah Carey. I always loved Christina Aguilera's voice.
2 Canadians,
Yes.
1 American, Christina Aguilera.
Christina Aguilera,
Ohio,
her voice.
right? Her voice.
I don't know where she's from, actually. I should.
Her voice is not a voice. Her voice is an instrument. As you
It's
know.
ridiculous. It's amazing.
Right.
So those were like my top 4 when I was little.
When you're 4 years old and you're realizing what your mother does for a living, obviously,
Yeah.
did you think at that point, were you squeaking along with any of the stuff at all, or was it something where I wanted to get on it, and so did she train you to be as good as you are, or is it something that came naturally? You got to think that most people.
I mean, I think I had a little bit of natural skill, but it's definitely something I've really, really worked for. I mean, my mom has recordings of me singing like Pocahontas and like random stuff when I'm 7, and I don't sound very good. I'm just kind of like, I'm all right. But it's definitely, there's been a lot of work that's gone into it, and a lot of voice lessons, a lot of piano lessons. It's something that you do have to work towards, and especially when it comes to writing.
Right.
If writing comes naturally to someone, I'd love to meet them. Like, it's a very, very hard process to get into. It gets easier with practice, but it definitely did not come naturally to me.
Right. Do you find that when you run into people like the Glenn Ballards of the world, that they also have the same issues when it comes to writing songs? Like
I don't think he has any issues when it comes to writing songs.
Out.
I'm sure they just
Really?
flow out. I mean, he's been doing it for so long, and he wrote Man in the Mirror. Like, he's amazing. He's probably I don't think he's got any. He's perfect. It all comes out naturally for him.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting to know. Do you think that? Let me ask you this then.
Okay.
Glenn Ballard, could he be a pop star?
Glenn Ballard. I don't think he'd want that. I think he loves to be in the writing studio world.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you could be a pop star though.
Yes. That's what we're going for.
Right.
Yes.
You're going to go for that
We're
completely. Because
completely,
the hard
100%.
part is some people can write amazing songs, just can't get up on stage and perform them.
I mean, and a lot of people want to stay at home. I mean, being an artist, you're gone all the time.
Right.
Like, people don't realize how much dedication you have to put into being a musician and being a touring musician and trying to break a record. Like, we're going on a 14-state tour next month, and I'm going to be sitting in a van every day for 7 hours, going from city to city to city, doing radio shows, doing TV shows. I mean, it's your entire life. It takes over everything.
Have you done any of this before? Yet, I should say.
This is basically my first tour. We did a tour this summer that was smaller, but this is the first month-long tour. I'm really, really excited to get out there and go do it. So
wonderful.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
We are starting.
We're
We're starting in Santa Barbara. Then we're going to Denver. We're going to Iowa, St. Louis, Chicago. We're all
Have you traveled
over.
outside of the OC before this?
I have done some touring, but I've never played in Chicago. I've never played in St. Louis. We're going to be playing some states I've never been to, so I'm excited.
You know what? I've been watching the Olympics for the last couple of weeks and watching the dedication that those athletes put into their performances and how long they train and stuff like this.
Oh, yeah.
It seems to me, and I've interviewed many, many, many artists. You're the first person that actually kind of understands that there is a lot of work to be done.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Does that come from mom and dad?
No.
Or just, is that something you picked up?
I just picked it up along the way. I mean, because my mom, she was always just a vocal coach. She never did the full on, like, I'm going to write a record, I'm going to go tour. She never did that. And, I wouldn't realize it if I wasn't doing it. I mean, it's really, really fun. You have to love what you do, or else, you'd be miserable. But I love it.
Any other ladies in the band?
No, I'm
No?
going to be in a band with 5 boys.
I want you to come back
Five
to
stinky
me
boys.
5 stinky boys. I want you to come back to me in about 9 months and sit down and tell me
How much I
the-
love
the
touring.
stories. No, because there are people I know that write better songs on the road.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're forced into realizing things that they just like, really? That's what happens? There's things that will happen on the road. And then I've also had friends of mine that tell me never write an album on the road. Never write it because it's all going to sound like Jackson Brown. But some people obviously like Jackson Brown, so
Yeah, it'll be
interesting.
interesting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll chat later.
Alrighty.